Oh, but would you look at that, Lulu comes in with a res, so hopefully we don't do the exact same thing. Oh my fucking god, we do the exact same thing. Overwatch Diagnosis. I review 5 minutes of your gameplay, identify issues and provide solutions. Get your replay reviewed for free by joining my Discord. Today's player is Pirat Brumik, a DOOMFIST player who wants to know if the game is his fault. Let's find out.
And they say
there are 3 main things you need to focus on as DOOMFIST when you play ranked: ability usage, awareness and target priority. When it comes to ability usage, normally you want to engage with one movement ability and use the other to get out. Sometimes you can use both when you have your ult or when you want to be vulnerable afterwards, so you still might have your block or there's no actual threat to your life. When it comes to awareness, you do this through scouting and noticing which cooldowns have been used by the enemy team. What is scouting? Scouting is purely gathering information. Most scouting is done before the fight. You may also anticipate enemy abilities. For example, in this clip, the DOOMFIST slams up early because he knows he's going to get hacked during his block. And if he doesn't get out before he's hacked, he's fucked. When it comes to target priority, we want to look at enemies who are out of position or are threatening our team, like somebody on a high ground. When it comes to team comps, the important thing here is to note that your comp has a lack of healing and range on that healing. This means you shouldn't stay in for long periods of time, especially if you can't get a health back. The enemy comp has a backline that's easy to land abilities on and a soldier who you might be able to catch alone. When it comes to Mauga, avoid him unless you want to charge your punch and focus on the squishy heroes, especially ones who are isolated from him because they won't benefit from the damage reduction from his E. Here's how we win. We bait abilities by slamming in and punching out, or the other way around, charging our punch when the enemy's CC is down, so that's sleep and stomp, and landing these charged punches to kill enemy squishies. When it comes to movement text, I think there's only one useful one for when you're coming out of spawn, and this is what it looks like. So you're going to cancel your punch immediately by slamming, and it takes you incredibly far with your momentum, and you might even get lucky and land on a traitor like this DOOMFIST did. For DOOMFIST movement, I reached out to Zebra, a popular DOOMFIST YouTuber, to ask him about the important ones. He suggested to check out his guide. So here we are looking at our DOOMFIST on Ilios, and I think I can already see the first mistake. So we're 10 seconds in. If you're watching this video, think about what the mistake is. Think about what we talked about at the beginning. 3, 2, 1. The first mistake is going here because this prevents us from getting proper scouting. We need to scout, right? Gather information. Why do we need to gather information? So that we can find out what our win conditions are going to be. We can find out which targets might be isolated, which targets do we need to go for. We would realize they have a Mauga before he gets too close to us, and the Mauga has Stomp, the Ana has Sleep. What does that do? That cancels our block, so that gives us information on how we should be playing. It also means that we're not too aggressive early on, and we can slam in and still punch out and get a nice kind of route to just run around so that we don't get hacked as well. Whereas if we go here, it's a very tight space, it's going to be difficult for us. So we're in this narrow corridor, it's going to be difficult for us to get information. And here's another mistake, right? What's the mistake, guys? We're going too early. Why is this too early? Because we haven't done scouting, we don't know what they have. So this could very easily be a death for us here, especially if they had a Sombra. Imagine if they had a Sombra, she hacks you, you can't block, 100% you die here. So what we should have done instead was get better scouting, have a look at what the enemy team's running, and then look to do what we said at the beginning, which was slamming in, punching out, baiting some abilities, making some space, forcing the enemy team to look at us whilst our DPS get a nice setup. Okay, so small error here, right, is when you're blocking, you usually don't want to swing all the way to cover, right? You want to stay next to cover and then move back after your block is done. Why is this important? So that you're still in full view of the enemy team, and especially in this rank, which is silver, they're going to charge your punch very, very easily. So you get your punch charge, then you go to cover, then you can do whatever you want. You can get out or you can go back in. So that's a small thing that we could improve on. And now we still don't have any of our movement cooldowns because we burned them in the beginning and then we get out too late. And so there's the problem, right? This is why we die. We didn't save one of our movement cooldowns, and this is what we talked about at the beginning, right? What we want to do is slam in, get some scouting going, have our punch to get out, or you can even punch in if you see someone, and then slam out, right? So we would have got some information, we would have known what the enemy team was playing, we might have even got a charged punch, but instead we kind of go too early, we commit both of our abilities, we go to cover too early, which is something, you know, it's very rare for me to say someone went to cover too early, but that's what we did. And this means that we have no ability to get out, we don't have a charge punch that can be useful right now, and we die. So the first fight completely is our fault because we mismanaged how we used our abilities. Oh, but would you look at that, Lulu comes in with a res, so hopefully we don't do the exact same thing. Oh my fucking god, we do the exact same thing. Okay, so let's go back and watch it again. So we go back in. So the reason why this is okay, it's not the worst thing in the world, is you disrupt the soldier, you disrupt the Mauga, you stop them putting pressure on your team. However, look at your Echo. You should be joining your Echo right here. You should be killing both the BAP and the Ana with your Echo. So this is okay, This is much better. And here's another problem, right? If you watch the block, you start your block from behind cover and then you slowly come out of cover. So it's a similar mistake as to what we did before. So we've done two of the same mistakes twice in 30 seconds. The first mistake was slamming in and using our punch before we got any information. And we did that. We pretty much did that again without looking who's on the point. And we also used our block incorrectly, right? We used our block and we went to cover too soon. And here we started our block from cover. So we need to be a bit better with our ability usage straight away. All three abilities could have been used differently. So we didn't get our charged punch here. So that means we still don't have our block for an engage. So if we're going to slam in like this, we probably want to punch out. The main reason why we want to punch out is simply because we don't have our block. So if they do decide to turn around, the Mauga and the Soldier, we have our block for insurance so that we can survive. That's the only reason I wouldn't be punching this Ana here. It is very risky. If you got the kill, it would have been great, but keep in mind that might have ended up in you getting traded, right? So you killed the Ana, but then you died. And in a game where we only have one tank, this is a very risky move to make. So what would I have done instead? I would have slammed in, maybe tried to punch out so that you could have baited the sleep, right? And if you punch out to here, you have cover to use until you get your block. So then even if the Mauga runs on you and tries to burst you down, you have your block, you farm a charge punch. What can we do with charge punch? We can kill a squishy target. So that's what I would have done differently. And as you can see, the enemy turns on you, but they do give you your charge punch, so you're able to get out. This is a great slam out. Why is this a great slam out? Because this means we can kind of do a mini reset and we can set up a charge punch onto a squishy target. Who are the squishy targets? Soldier and Ana. So let's see if we do that. So we're shooting the Mauga, no problem. Oh great, we eventually changed target and tried to go for the Soldier. So that was good. If we would have hit the Soldier, we probably would have killed him by hitting him into the wall because he's already half HP. So this was a great punch. We're pressuring the Mauga, we get a charge punch again, and we slam out again. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And what did you just see? You just saw that Ana use her nade. This means that the Ana's an even better target now because she doesn't have nade. So after you land the impact punch, you can finish her off with shots before she can heal herself because she doesn't have a nade anymore. But we go back in, we hit 3 people with this punch, which is great. So now all we need to do now is, whilst we have no abilities, we just need to chill for a minute, right? We need to just use cover, wait for our abilities to come back up, and then go back in. But so far, this has been much better than in the beginning when we died. So there's a great pressure onto the enemy. You can see that Ana's still isolated and we haven't given her any attention. So this punch onto 3 people was great. But another great option was the Ana because we actually could have killed her. We don't get our block, right? So we have to be a bit more careful, but then we jump into 3 people without actually knowing what the situation is, right? You didn't know if they were all full HP, if they were all 1. In a higher rank, these guys, the BAP is actually going to heal his fucking team. They're going to heal up, and this is going to be a big threat to your life, right? I'm not sure you've been tracking the Ana's cooldowns, so this means that Ana could have sleep. She could have naded up soon in the next couple of seconds. This means you get naded, slept, you don't have your ult to survive. This is a very, very dangerous situation for you. So I would be punching out as soon as you land the slam. Okay, we actually commit the punch and we get the BAP, but as you can see, the enemy team is struggling a little bit with something called awareness, which they would have much better awareness if they've been watching my videos. So make sure you guys check out my other videos to improve your awareness and knowledge of the game. But basically, we get rewarded here for making an awful play. This play is honestly fucking awful because we commit both our cooldowns when we don't even have our block. So we get the flip on the point, but we have lost our Genji. So again, guys, what should we be looking to do before we find out what fucking awful play we make next? We should be looking to slam, bait out abilities, bait the enemy to kind of chase us, move around the map, and ultimately we want to look for an isolated squishy target to be able to kill. Right now the enemy team's all stacked together, right? And they don't get much effectiveness from the Mauga playing far back like this. So you kind of want to bait them in and look for these opportunities to get a charge punch to be able to punch in. So this slam is fine if we block straight after, but even if we block, right, what did we say at the beginning? They can cancel your block with sleep and with stomp. So I think this is a poor slam. It doesn't allow us to get a charge punch. It doesn't put much pressure on the enemy team. So we slam in, we punch again. This leaves us with only block. Guys, what do you think is going to happen if Peter Rumik climbs to diamond and he does this in a fucking diamond game? Do you think that when he blocks, the Ana's going to go, oh, I'm good, bro, I'll just fucking head out and ignore you? Do you think the Mauga's not going to stomp on him? No, he's going to get stomped on, he's going to get slept, he's going to die infinite times if he keeps repeating this cycle of his abilities. So let's see what happens, right? We block, and the Ana genuinely says, see you later, I'm fucking done with this game, my team is terrible. So I have no idea. I genuinely have, guys, I'm so clueless as to what this Ana is doing. I'm clueless as to what this Mauga is doing. You have stomp on this guy's head. Okay, these guys clearly need to watch my videos. So we get our charge punch. We decide to punch out, which is fine. We could have tried to sit behind cover, but this is a really sticky situation for us. But who put us in that sticky situation? It was ourselves, right? We're not playing our win conditions. We haven't been looking for squishy targets. I'm pretty sure all of our punches, except that punch on the Ana, which we shouldn't have done anyway, has been on the Mauga. So we slam back in, and we punch in again. This is okay. Why is it okay, guys? Boom, because we have our ultimate. So this is okay. I don't think it's the best use of ultimate. However, right, this gets us a stagger on the enemy team. The more we can stagger the enemy team, the more percentage we get on point for free. So we might get 10, even 20%. So it's not a great ult, but it's not the worst ult either. Next fight. What are we doing right now, guys? What did we talk about in the beginning that we actually are doing right now? We're scouting, right? What's a better place for scouting? Up here on this high ground. Why is it a better place for scouting? Simply, you can see more of the map, you can see more of the enemy team, and it's a great setup for the next fight. So you would have seen this Pharah, and ultimately, Pharah is a dog shit matchup for DOOMFIST. You're going to struggle against her. This puts even more pressure on you to go for their backline, right? So you would have understood your win condition even more. You would have had even more focus on the backline if you had set up on this high ground, because it's easy for you to set. It's easy for you to set up to be able to kill the enemy team, to be able to go for the backline. Why is this a bad block? Can anybody think why is this a bad block? 3, 2, 1. This lady here. Why are you looking at the sky? What the fuck am I looking? Oh. Okay, if Ana was looking forward, as she should, she would see you blocking, she would sleep you, you don't have a Kiriko to Suzu you. What do you think the enemy team is going to do, right, if you climb? If you're in a higher rank and the enemy team knows what they're doing, what's going to happen? You get slept, you get naded, you get stomped on, there's no way you can escape, you get one shot by the enemy team, and you've thrown another fight before it has begun. So that would have been 2 out of the 3 fights that we've had, you would have thrown by having poor positioning and poor ability usage. Remember, if we had scouted properly at the beginning of the game, this would have let us see the enemy comp, it would have let us think about our win conditions, and it would have let us know how to use our block this game. Luckily, you survive, right? The enemy team is not pressuring you early enough. So again, here's a great time to be on high ground. Why is it a good time to be on high ground? We can set up, we can be annoying for the enemy team. The Pharah may pressure us, that's true, but that means it takes pressure off the Echo. We have more fluid movement than the Echo, so we can have the Pharah chase us around, we can keep moving around, and it also means if the Pharah does decide to ignore us and go for this Echo, we can just drop on the enemy team, right? You can pretend that you're going to drop with your punch, you can start charging your punch, start edging. Oh, don't take that out of context, guys. What I mean is you start baiting the enemy team, you're kind of edging off this pillar here, and you're looking to drop on the enemy team. They don't know if you're actually going to drop, so you're baiting abilities, you're baiting their attention. This gives your team more room to do whatever they want. So this is why I would recommend us to start off on the high ground here. It also means that if the Mauga and the Venture ignore you and go ahead, you can actually drop on the enemy team, right? We've seen this Ana looking at the fucking sky for no real reason. So maybe, you know, maybe the Ana will spot us, but I doubt she's going to do much about it. And even if she does spot you, that's a distraction. That means that Ana can't heal the Pharah, and the Ana is the only one who can heal the Pharah properly. So this would still create disruption, and it means even if we don't get to engage from here, we can just loop around and engage from here anyway, right? So this gives you many more options if you set up on this high ground. Let's look at the actual fight. So we decide to back off a little bit. Again, high ground would be fantastic here because we can choose when we engage, and it makes it more difficult for the enemy team. This slam upwards gives us scouting, right? How could we scout without slamming like this? Would you look at that? Standing on high ground suddenly gives us the ability to scout the enemy without using this slam. And because we've now committed this slam and we've used our block, we pretty much have to get out with punch. There's not a lot we can do here. Thank God you did not punch in, because I would have had another fucking mental breakdown. So we do back off here. However, ults are being used, right? Ults are being used. We can't follow up or capitalize on ults being used, on space being made by any of our teammates, or help our teammates for that matter, since our Illari has died. Why? Because we wasted slam in the beginning. What would have happened if we were on a high ground, right? We would have been able to go in straight away. We wouldn't have had to use our slam for scouting. So it all, at the end of the day, guys, it all comes down to your ability usage. So this engage, I'd say it's okay. Actually, I would say it's dog shit. The reason why it's dog shit is because even if you turn around, you block, right? Everybody's looking at you from the same angle. Cool. So you're going to block it all, right? No. What if they have sleep? What if they have stomp? I'm pretty sure you have not been tracking cooldowns. So although this looks cool, you get to go into the Baptiste. You actually almost kill him. Even if you did kill him, I don't think it's worth it. Why? Because it's the same situation we had back here, where if we kill the Baptiste and if the enemy team has a pair of working fucking eyes, then they turn around and kill you. This is trading DOOMFIST for Baptiste. I'm not a fan of this trade. And ultimately, I think I'm ready to make my diagnosis. Actually, I changed my mind. I want to see how this fight plays out. Maybe we get to redeem ourselves and get a Doom 5k, who knows. Okay, so we slam in, right? Oh my fucking God, I regret my decision. Here's my diagnosis for Pirat Blumik. You need to work on cycling your cooldowns. If you rewatch the beginning of the video, you'll get a reminder of that. Understand your win conditions. In this game, it was avoiding the Mauga and using charged punch to take out the backline and escaping with your slam, or slamming into bait cooldowns so then you can eventually get your charged punch without being slept or stomped. And work on your scouting, so using high grounds, playing safer whilst you gather information. This is actually really important if you want to be able to understand your win conditions consistently and before there's too much going on in the game. Good luck with your climb. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.